Sure. I'll start my presentation. In the meantime, in between, anybody will have any doubts, any questions, definitely you can ask the questions. For taking this topic, because now this topic is very, very important, as Shirley is also mentioned in terms of the different type of incidents which is happening and how our organization's culture is that, how open is that culture that they will report without any hesitation. So before I start this, first of all, I just want to understand what is reporting culture. Anybody can tell me what is the meaning of reporting culture?
May I? This reporting culture, it means if anything happens which is unusual, but we should have a system to escalate to the next level so that we can take a proper actions on it. Action in the sense methods to not to reoccur it. So on the time of incident, we should report it to the senior or escalate or we to communicate these incidences, any
Wow,
errors or anything.
that's good. That's 100% correct on that. So reporting culture mainly how we can report, how we can detect in terms of if any harm will happen or any potential harm which happen due to any type of error, which medication error is one of the top, which we can say in across the world around 43% they are saying error is going towards the medical only. So, as a reporting culture, we have to create the atmosphere in the organizations where staff can report any type of safety concern without any hesitation, without any fear, without any blame culture. So, the thing is that very important nowadays how we can create that type of culture in the organization. So, there's a different techniques, different types of strategies we can use it, but very important things where we have to take in your mind. That's I can tell you about the three things which is very, very important. So these three things is mainly the maintain the confidentiality. So what is the meaning of confidentiality? Means anybody is reporting the incident reports and there is another people who are involving in that incidents. So as a culture in the organization we have to maintain the confidentiality, but I'm not talking about confidentiality in terms of the incidents. Always you have to do the best practice. You can share the best practice from one department to another department, but without taking the name of the person, without taking the incident involved people in that. So in that way, nobody can, do the blame for anyone else, or people are open to raise the incident, right? But always remember, you have to share best practice sharing within the organizations or maybe outside the organization. Second part, where you can create this culture in terms of act on the reporting safety issues. So many organizations where people are reporting the incident report, but there is no proper closure of the incident report. There is no proper RCA, root cause analysis. There is no proper corrective action which will be taken by the organizations, or maybe they are taking the corrective action, but it takes time. Maybe they are beyond the turnaround time. So these things is very important. If I am the person who are raising the incident, I also know what is the corrective action has been taken by the organizations. And the third most important is that reporting back the action plan to the person who has reported this particular incident. So I will be confident that yes, whatever I have reported it, it's properly has been investigated, properly the action has been taken, and what type of action has been taken has been communicated to me. So these three things are very, very important in terms of creating the culture within the organization. Next, I'll just talk about why this reporting is important in the healthcare. So, as we know, we are working in the healthcare organization, we are working the patients, we are working with the human lives, right? So, the quality is much, much more important in our sectors, in the hospital and healthcare sectors, as compared to any other industries. So, that's why as a reporting is more important for us, that's so that we can take any type of action which any time of harm can happen to the patients in future. So first mainly incident reporting in healthcare refers mainly to collecting the healthcare incident data. So our goal is mainly quality improvement and patient safety. So as and when people are started reporting, we can take proper actions. Then only we can just talk about and we can just do the improvement of the qualities and also patient safety culture within the organization. Second thing, incident report is also helping to each and every employee who is working, who can identify different types of areas, and also these areas convert into change in the system level factors. So what is the system level factor? Mainly this is talking about, again, when we talk about no blame culture, means we are not blaming to the person, we are always changing the system, we are changing the process, we are changing the policies within the organization. So we have to understand what is a more contribution factor towards the systems, not towards the people, right? So this is also again important for the reporting the in the healthcare. Third part is that always each and every person who are working in the organization will always see towards a patient-centered approach. They they will have defined a lot of protocols, a lot of policies in the organizations. Yes, definitely we have to follow these policy protocols, but many times as per the patient conditions, we change the protocol sometimes. Just like in the organization, we are working clinical practice guidelines, right? Critical protocols. These are the guidelines. These are the not mandatory things where doctors or physicians can change the protocol as per the patient conditions. So always each and every staff has to ensure all the approach will be towards the patients, patient-centered approach. Last but not the least, about this establishing the culture of safety in the organizations, which is very important, again, to prevent or reduce any type of errors, improving the overall quality of the healthcare. This is not only the patients, but also all the staffs who are working. They will also feel safe while working in the organization. They will feel safe in terms of physically and psychologically, mentally in the workplace. So this only can happen when we have the healthy culture of safety culture in the organization, right? So overall, our target is that we have to improve the workplace and the patient safety, and also ensure the best quality care which we can provide to the patients. Now, next, I'm just talking about different types of classification of incident reports, or different types of classification in terms of the patient safety events. So I know many people might know about that different types of classifications of the incidents. So first is near miss, which is very, very important, because this near miss is also called close call or the good catch. So this near miss is nothing but any type of incident which might have resulted in the harm. We have done something, we have done some problem before that, we got it, right? It didn't reach to the patients. So these type of incidents, always we have to encourage each and every person to report it. If we talk about in JCI, they are also talking about near miss incidents has to be tracked. Total trend analysis has to be done, because that is very important. That's there is some process deficiencies might be there. There might be some education or training deficiencies where we have to take these actions before any adverse event will happen in future. Second incident or patient safety events is called no harm events. This event mainly the any type of events which is reached to the patients, but there's no harm happened. This is also serious about that. So we have to see that how this has reached to the patients and what are the actions we can take to avoid that type of incident in future. Third type of incident is called adverse event. So that is an event where any type of adverse event which has happened to the patients, mainly undesirable clinical outcome has come to the patients. It will not be very serious. It may be mild, some harms which has happened, but that's some type of adverse event which has happened to the patient. Last but not the least, which is called sentinel events. So sentinel events, mainly the definition which is I have written here, an unanticipated occurrence where we don't want, but it came, and which can lead to the death or which can lead to the serious harm to the patient in terms of the physical or in terms of the psychological injuries. So there's a different types of sentinel events which has been defined, what type of sentinel events can happen in the organizations. and how we can avoid it in further in future. So for Sentinel event, definitely as a regulatory, as a different international organizations, they have mandatory telling about you have to do the RCA in detail, root cause analysis, and action plan has to be submitted to the regulatory within defined turnaround time as per different regulators in the different countries. So this is different types of classification, but all types of incidents are important to report so that this all incident cannot lead to the sentinel event at the end with the patient. Now, the question will come, what type of incident we should report? What type of incident we should not report? Uh, or is there any difference in terms of the incident, in terms of the complaints? Patients is coming, they are complaining, any type of things should be raised as an incident report or not. So there is always the classification or difference between the complaints and the incidents. So any type of complaints might be some equipment is not working. So that's a complaint. Some patient is not satisfied with the treatment which is given by the hospital. That is a complaint. So there's a two different track altogether. So don't mix between the complaints and the incident. So I have given some of the examples or some of the types of incident which normally we should report. So I have written few example here. In terms of any fall will happen, that's an incident. In terms of any investigation related any issues, like there's a delay in the reporting, there will be incorrect any labeling samples, there will be any reporting errors and all, any equipment malfunctioning during when the patients we are treating the patients. There will be some administrative or documenting error, like some billings errors, slapping any medical record which is missing somewhere, any surgical related, or I can say all the IPSG related, which is international patient safety goals. Any types of patient safety issues are there, definitely should report as an incident. Any type of clinical where we are using a lot of different types of documentations, any type of documentations error which is happening, any medication error. So medication error is also different types of errors like prescription error, dispensing, transcription error, administrations error. So these type of errors also we should report. Any type of safety or security related incident which has happened, any realistic injury, any type of concern, general concern, informed consent form. So these are some of the type of incident which I mentioned here. These are the incident definitely we have to report in terms of the incident reporting form or whatever you have the system, either online system or manual systems, whatever system which you are adopting in the organization. Now, this slide mainly I am talking about the strategies. So what are the strategies we can use it? What are the techniques we can use it to promote the reporting culture? So there's a different techniques. There's many techniques which you can just see across different organizations who are using. So might be you can also use some of the techniques in the organization. You can talk to your leaders in the organizations. You can suggest that these type of different types of tools or techniques we can use it, how to promote the culture in the organization. So first is very important. I am sure you heard about just culture. So if we'll talk about in earlier, we were talking about no blame culture, no fear, no punishments. But after analyzing many things and all, we understood no, this no blame culture will not work. The thing which is called just culture, which is just culture is nothing but mainly the system thinking, which mainly talking about any organizations which will be accountable for the systems, for the processes, for the policies, whatever they have designed for the organizations, and also for responding the behavior of their employees in a fair and just manner. Means if any employees is continuously doing the mistake intentionally, many times after giving a lot of interventions, a lot of educations, then definitely it can go for a punitive nature of things we have to take against employees also. So we have to respond the behavior of the employees as per whatever they are doing, but it should be very fair, it should be very transparent. So this is called just culture in the organization. Second thing is talking about if you want to see what is your reporting culture in the organizations. So many organizations who are doing the survey. So mainly AHRQ, who was giving the survey on the patient safety culture. where you'll identify different types of barriers in the organization, why the people are not reporting. So after doing this survey mainly, which you can take it from AHRQ, this is talking about section A to F. Mainly, they are talking about you can ask this survey from the your employees in terms of their work areas, and they are talking about in terms of managers, your supervisors, how they are working in terms of the patient safety. This will also talk about the communication system within the organizations. This will also talk about the reporting the patient safety events, how the staffs are comfortable for reporting. This will also talk about overall safety ratings, which employee can give it to you. And also they will talk about your organization. So there's different questions has been designed by AHRQ, where you can ask these questions from your staffs, and then you can find it out which all the areas where you can work to promote the reporting culture in the organization. Next is also very important that communicating them your policies, procedures, and will understand the expectations around the safety. So why this is important? Because if the staff will not know what is the policies, what is the procedures, every hospitals, every organization will have different protocols, different policies, and they should also know what is the expectations towards the safety for the organization. So these things is very important, where they can just see wherever the safety culture is diverting from the policies, from the system in the organizations, and accordingly they can report that okay, now these are the patient safety protocols which is not following as per the policy which is defined in the organization. Next, few organization is also encouraging the staff to report the safety issues by doing some rewards, some recognition to the staffs. See, again, rewards and recognition will not be always monetary. I'll not say always you have to give some payment, some money is here. There's different type of rewarding systems are there, recognition systems are there, which you can follow in the organizations to promote the reporting culture within the organization. Another very strong, I can say this technique which I have used in many organizations is called Jemba Walk. I don't know how many people have heard about this Jemba Walk. This Jemba Walk is mainly talking about to encourage your managers, your leaders, your heads who will do workplace walk around. They will go and they will understand there. So mainly these five things are there in the Jemba box. They will go, they will observe, they will observe the employees what they are doing. They will ask different types of tasks about the employees. What is your roles? What is your responsibilities are there? They will communicate the best practices, might be what is happening in other department to in the department. They will cooperate. They will always help to the employees to solve the problem. They will not point it out to anybody. So whenever they will go every day morning, might be the work around, they will identify how we can increase the productivity, how we can increase the efficiency in the organizations. So if you know, this Gemba is a term from Japanese, as most of the quality terms has come from Japan only. So this is also a term from Japanese. The meaning of this Gemba is mainly the real place. So mainly you have to go in the real place, you have to walk there and understand and observe that what is happening and correct the same thing on the same time there itself. If somebody is not following any processes, policies, you have to correct there itself. You have to give the trainings, you have to correct there itself so that things will not happen again. And it will always promote the reporting culture for the staff, because they will have more confidence with the leaders. They know that I can open anything in front of the leaders, in front of the managers. So that is also very, very good, I can say, initiative for promoting the safety culture within the organization. The last one is mainly routinely, we have to review the safety measures, and we have to do some audits, some inspections of the workplace. Might be you have the checklist where I'm sure your facilities management people, where they are taking for the quality, infection control, different departments, they are roaming around the organizations and they will find it out what are the safety measures might be there, and they will have the report where as a regular basis they will write it down and they will correct it as whatever the time is defined, they will give the responsibilities. So that is also very important, that you have to review the safety measures time to time, and also you have to communicate to the staff. So this is all from my side. I don't know how much you'll understand and what are the any questions, anything from your side, anybody will have. If nothing, then thank you very much for your time.
Hi, sir. Good evening. This is Vijay from Ajman, Sheikh Khalifa Hospital, Ajman.
Mhm,
So I have a doubt. You presented about a type of incident report, right? Like fall, medication error, different types you mentioned. No, so is there
mhm,
any international reference? Because even in my organization, I'm trying to modify the incident reporting system. So from this trap.
mhm,
So is there any international reference where I can get away? Because the format what we are using, it's based on WHO 2009. It's a old version.
mhm.
So is there any other reference you have? So it will be helpful for me to revise my system.
Sure. Right now, I don't have any particular international reference, but definitely I'll just find it out. But what I can say, you have to, I don't think so. You can write it down 100% types of incidents, because there's many types of incidents are there, but mainly the key incident, definitely you can jot it down there. If you have the online system, you can make the drop downs and you can mention all types of incident there. But I will find it out. If any international reference will be there, definitely I can share with all of you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir. It will be
yeah. Thank
helpful.
you, sir. Vijay Kumar, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there is some clear guidelines from AHRQ for incident reporting system.
Okay, sir.
Please check in AHRQ website.
Sure, sir.
So
I'll just check.
yeah, there is some clear standards, sir. Please check.
Okay, sir. Okay, I'll check. Thank
Yes,
you, sir.
thank you, sir. Thank you, Ankur, sir. Thanks
Thank
a
you very
lot
much,
for your
sir.
presentation. Sir, regarding the tools and strategies, uh, what are things we can use as per your recommendations? We can focus on just culture, communication, conducting safety culture survey, also rewarding system and leadership rounds, safety measures. But I want to know which one is more effective, sir.
See, every
Because we need to know the step-by-step process. Which one we can focus first?
it is depend on the organization to organization. So I cannot say any particular strategy which is very important or very focused. Let us
Mhm.
suppose in your organization you have the just culture. People are reporting very nicely and all, but still you want to raise the bar. So what you can do, the survey will be the good part where you can just see that whatever small things might be there where you can just to the next level might you can take. If your organization don't have any leadership rounds, all the decisions has been taken in the closed room by the leaders, definitely that's Jempa walk is one of the strong recommendation to promote a reporting culture. So again, it depends organization to organization.
So this we can recommend to promote reporting culture, correct, sir? Leadership
Correct, sir.
backgrounds. Yes.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Thank you
excuse
very
me.
much. Hmm.
Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes, please tell.
Yeah, sir. If an employee who made an incident accidentally and result a huge loss of money for the organization, then the employee submitted an incident report. Actually, what we can do? Sometimes the organization insisted us to collect that money from the employee. So in that scenario, actually, what we do as a quality officer?
Yeah, that's very good question. That's why in my presentation I have told you about just culture, right? So, if organization, all each and every organizations are not working for charity. Definitely, there's financial things is also linked with the strategy of the organizations. So, as we are saying, just culture, yes, that should be reported actually. But overall, at the end, the decision will go from the leaderships. How we can just take it forward this particular incident? How big loss is that? How it will impact directly to the organizations, because that big loss will not talk about any one person. It will affect to all the employees who are working in the organization. It will impact to all the stakeholders. It will impact to all the patients and all our customers, definitely on that. So as a journal, we are talking about just culture we have to reporting. Definitely we should report, But these type of actions definitely will be finalized by the leadership of the organization.
It was a very nice presentation. Thank you so much for the presentation, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Just I wanted to understand mode of reporting. So online is better than like hard copy or any modes of incident reports that we can accept.
See, we can accept any type of mode, but now you can see that the technology is improving day by day. There's a artificial intelligence are coming, there's a robotics are coming, right? So always, if there is some system reported is always better in terms of the manual reporting, because the errors from the manual will be much more higher as compared to the systems, right? So but again, depends on the organization, their financial conditions, their technologies, how leaders are serious about going into the next level. But definitely both the way will be acceptable.
Yes, sir. My question is like, see, all the employees won't have the login access for this incident reporting.
Hmm.
So, for example, if it is a nursing ward, so each and every nurse doesn't have the login system, but it is a common mail ID which they use to raise an incident report. Whether it is correct or it is wrong.
Yeah, that will also be correct, because we are talking about no need to disclose your name also while raising the incident report. But in case of anything where confidential informations are there, then definitely because you don't have any system, you don't have the user ID for each and every nurse there, then this system is okay where without mentioning your name, without mentioning your identity, you can raise the incident, because overall the target for the organizations to save culture in the organization, right? Again, we'll not point out to any person. So that will also be fine. If you have one system, 20 nurses are working, so anybody can use that system with the same user ID and password.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So thank you, sir, for a great presentation on the strategies and techniques in reporting culture. It was really a pleasure to have you with us today. And thank you all for attending. We hope you have learned and enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.